What's going on, Mayhem? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Why did you do that?
So I'm 39, North Carolina. I served in the military for 21 years so far, and I was over in Syria for the first election. We had handcuffs on us, so to speak, in terms of engagement criteria. And Trump's policy, when he did get elected the first time, I really liked. So with my background, I lean toward hopefully,
Wait, handcuffs on
if
you
he
where? I'm so sorry.
Syria, Syria. I was deployed.
You're deployed in Syria.
No, I
Conditions.
was. So I've been in the military for 20 years.
Okay.
When he was first running, we were over there under the previous administration. Uh,
Yeah.
the guys were getting laid down because of those policies. When Trump came into office, the policies that he enacted started saving lives and also got the problem taken care of.
So we
However,
actually we had less service members die from military conflict under Biden and Harris compared to Trump, and I'd say that there's a greater potency for more military conflict under Trump's second administration, with him entertaining ideas such as possibly invading Greenland, which would start a military conflict, a war between America and Europe, and like the whole ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip. I think what will ultimately happen is the Palestinians will fight back. Hamas will redirect their interests to any U.S. entities coming into the Gaza Strip to try to claim ownership, and we'll probably end up deploying our own troops. I
right,
find that
I
to be a
fully
likely
agree with
outcome.
you
So I think
actually on
that like
this.
more people are going to die under Trump's admin compared to what who would have died under Kamala Harris's.
Right. So I was talking about the first administration. I'm being medically retired now, but I think another important point to make is that I regret this vote based on
Oh,
him coming out and saying what he said about Gaza. I
oh,
find it to
nice.
be reprehensible. So what I've done as penance for this terrible vote and the bad position that our country is now in is started the money out of politics movement that anybody can join. We are going to march on Washington on 27 July, and we are demanding with 2 million plus veterans that we get Congress to pass laws uh, banning congressional stock trading. Well, hey, listen, hold on, hear me out, because we got
Yeah.
80% support on the Republican side, 86% support on the Democrat side. We've already had both Democrat and Republican senators agree to sit down and discuss this. Also, this is not a protest, it is a demand. If they don't overturn Citizens United following that, we've got an organization already organized and we've already drafted this legislation. We've got our Discord organized by state so people can get involved and organize locally because we are marching in Washington. And for people who cannot make it to Washington, D.C. because of their economic situation, they can march on their capital in a coordinated event. We've got a legal team that's working on the legislation, working with the Texas Supreme Court, working with the Supreme Court of West Virginia. Um, I demand from the 15 million veterans across this country that we stand up and fight for what's left of the constitutional republic that we have. It's the money out of politics movement. And I would appreciate your support, Dean. I was told that you're the guy, but believe me when I say I've been on 14 deployments, so I didn't know the who's who in the zoo on this platform,
Well,
and I was given
mayhem,
your name. So
mayhem.
yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you for your service, not only to your country, when you were deployed in Syria and whatnot, but also your service to the country right now. I think that you are unironically one of the most true examples of freedom fighter, that I've had on the live in a while, and I could just really appreciate that. You really did join the military to fight for freedom, and now you're figuring out that the fight for freedom isn't on another continent, but it's actually in the capital of our country, and
Absolutely.
that's fucking awesome. You're the man. You're the real fucking deal, dude. I appreciate you for coming up here. You should shoot me a DM with more information about what you got going on.
I absolutely will. And thank you for the support. I'd like to see this country be saved from itself. You have a good night.
You as well. You as well. Damn, damn, that dude. That dude, that guy's a real deal, dude. Wow. That's really admirable. That is really admirable. That is really really refreshing and cool to see. Great
Hello, beautiful
news.
Americans. This is Mayhem, your friend, fellow American warrior, and 20-year combat veteran. We aren't just marching, we're organizing, state by state, city by city. And if you're ready to do more than watch, please step up. This movement doesn't happen without you. If you've been waiting for your moment to get involved, this is it. Every great movement in history started with regular people who stepped up. Some roles that are needed. State organizers. Help us recruit and mobilize in your local area. We need some assistance on our legal team to protect the movement as well as help draft the legislation that we will demand be passed by Congress. We need content creators to spread our message far and wide, and we need help with logistics and march coordination to work on transportation, permitting, and ground logistics. So who's ready to help lead this movement? Drop "I'm in" your state in the comments. It'll only grow as big as we make it, and if you think someone else will do it, nothing's going to change. You don't need permission to start fighting for what's right now. If you're serious about making change, drop "I'm in" your state in the comments. Let's build this together. Join the movement and your specific state thread within the MOP Discord using the link below. Power to the people. Hello, beautiful Americans. This is Mayhem, your friend, fellow American warrior, and 20-year combat veteran. Think Congress writes our laws? Think again. The bills they pass aren't written by your elected officials. They're written by corporations and handed to politicians like a script. Let's break down exactly how they do it. Most laws passed in Congress aren't written by politicians. They're written by corporate lobbyists and think tanks. Groups like ALEC or the American Legislative Exchange Council draft bills that directly benefit corporations, then hand them to lawmakers to pass. The result? Laws that serve corporate interests over the American people. Let's talk about some corporate-controlled legislation from 2024. Over 1,000 bills introduced in state legislatures were copy-pasted from corporate think tanks like ALEC. More than 100 members of Congress are actively working with ALEC and similar groups to push corporate-backed laws. Over $1.5 billion was spent by corporate lobbying groups to influence legislation just in 2024. This is how they're doing it. They're using think tanks like ALEC, the Heritage Foundation, and chambers of commerce to draft model legislation that benefits corporations. These aren't suggestions, they are ready to pass laws handed directly to lawmakers. Step 2, the politicians introduce the bills without changing them. Over 1,000 bills in 2024 were identical to documents written by corporate lobbyists. Laws meant to cut regulations, weaken worker protections, and privatize public services. The third thing they do is fund the campaigns of lawmakers who play ball. If a politician supports their bill, they get massive super PAC donations and cushy lobbying jobs after office. If they oppose it, they get attacked with millions in ad spending to crush their campaigns. This takes additional power away from the American people. Here are some examples of the worst corporate-controlled laws. In 2024, ALEC-backed lawmakers pushed legislation to block universal health care in 12 states. Big Pharma spent over $380 million lobbying to keep drug prices high. With the NRA and gun laws, ALEC wrote original Stand Your Ground law, which passed in Florida and spread to 25 plus states. Gun industry groups have spent over $200 million lobbying to weaken background checks. The oil and gas industry in 2023, Exxon, Chevron, and Shell-backed bills criminalized environmental protests in multiple states. ALEC's Critical Infrastructure Protection Plan, or Act, made it a felony to protest oil pipelines in 15 states. This isn't representative government, this is corporate dictatorship. Elected officials aren't writing our laws. Corporate lobbyists are. This is why workers' rights, healthcare reform, and environmental protections never pass. Until we cut corporate influence from legislation, nothing changes. If we don't fight back, corporations will keep writing the rules. It's time to ban corporate lobbying, end think tank written legislation, and overhaul campaign finance. Join us in this fight. Use the link below to join our Discord and join the Money Out of Politics movement. Power to the people. Attention, all U.S. veterans and service members. This is Mayhem, your friend, fellow American warrior, and 20-year combat veteran. We swore an oath to defend this nation, and that oath has no expiration date. Today we face a new adversary, corruption in Washington. Congress is sold out to PACs, corporations, super PACs, and insider trading while the American people have suffered. It's time to clean house. It's time to mop up Congress and remove every politician who puts donors before duty. Welcome to the Money Out of Politics movement. Our mission is simple and nonpartisan. Break the grip of big money in politics. No more corporate cash, no more PACs, no more billionaires buying our government. We are mopping up the corruption in DC and taking out the trash. If Congress doesn't pass legislation before the midterms to address this problem, we will mobilize the 15 million veteran voters to sweep out every politician who stands in the way with extreme prejudice. Corruption has no party, and neither does accountability. For too long, politicians have relied on party loyalty to protect them from being voted out. That time is over. We are making it clear. You will no longer be safe from accountability just because you have the correct letter next to your name. If you take PAC money, trade stocks off of insider information, or sell out your constituents, we will expose you and we will vote you out with extreme prejudice. Hiding behind a party won't save you any longer. For every Marine, soldier, sailor, airman, guardian, and Coast Guardsman, our mission is not yet over. If you're tired of watching politicians betray their oath, if you refuse to let this country be auctioned off, then stand with us. Join the MOP movement and spread the word. When it's time to vote, we mop the floor with every corrupt politician in Washington, no matter what party they hail from. This isn't just one video, it's a battle plan. If you're watching this, copy this script, make your own video, and flood social media with the same message. Thousands of voices, one mission. Join the MOP movement Discord for updates, strategy, and coordination. Follow for updates on our plan of action as the coalition grows in strength. We will hit a crescendo just ahead of the midterms elections. We will not be ignored. Follow, share, and comment below. And if you're a veteran, active duty service member, or patriot who's ready to clean up Congress, now is the time. We are one force, we are united, and we will return the power to the people. Hello, beautiful Americans. This is Mayhem, your friend, fellow American warrior, and 20-year combat vet. In 2010, the Supreme Court gave billionaires and corporations the green light to buy our elections. Since then, they've spent billions to control Congress. This is why Citizens United must be overturned. Let's break it down. Citizens United versus FEC 2010 was a Supreme Court decision that removed all limits on corporate political spending. Before this ruling, corporations and billionaires had restrictions on how much they could influence elections. After, unlimited corporate money flooded our elections. Super PACs were created overnight, allowing dark money to flow without disclosure. Citizens United didn't just change elections, it changed who controls our government. So how do they use Citizens United to buy elections? Well, first of all, through Super PACs. That's unlimited spending and no transparency. Super PACs raised $3.5 billion in 2024 alone, and that's more than half of all outside election spending. Biggest super PACs include Americans for Prosperity, backed by the Koch brothers at $550 million, Future Ford USA, Silicon Valley backed at $400 million plus, Congressional Leadership Fund, Wall Street funded $360 million plus. You also have dark money groups. No one knows where the money comes from, and more than 50% of all outside spending in 2024 is from undisclosed sources. That means we don't know who's buying our elections. Corporations use independent expenditures to run unlimited ads. This is why you see non-stop attack ads. They don't come from candidates, they come from corporate-backed super PACs. They don't just fund campaigns, they fund the attacks to destroy candidates who won't play ball. But who's benefiting the most? Well, Wall Street and hedge funds, the $500+ million super PAC spending. 10 million of that went to Chuck Schumer, Democrat, New York. Mitch McConnell, Republican, Kentucky, took $7.5 million from hedge funds. The oil and gas industry dumped $250 million in dark money into campaigns, including Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat, West Virginia, at $4.4 million, and Ted Cruz, Republican, Texas, at $3.6 million, with millions more from undisclosed sources. Big Pharma has also been a big spender, $200 million plus in super PAC influence. Again, Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat, West Virginia, $1.5 million, Mitch McConnell, Republican, Kentucky, $1.1 million, and Kirsten Sinema, Independent, Arizona, $1 million. They're not donating, they're investing in candidates who will protect their interests. So why do we have to overturn this? Until it's overturned, elections will never be fair. We will never have a government that works for the people until corporations are cut out of the process. The only way to fix our democracy is to end corporate election spending. That means banning corporate super PACs, forcing full transparency on all campaign spending, and overturning Citizens United so billionaires can't buy our elections. We are done letting billionaires buy our democracy. If you're ready to take our government back, join us. Join us using the Discord link below. Power to the people. Hello, beautiful Americans. This is Mayhem, your friend, fellow American warrior, and 20-year combat veteran. You've seen the corruption. You know the system is broken, but here's the deal. Exposing it isn't enough. We need a plan to win, and we have one. Let's break it down. Our democracy has been hijacked. Billionaires, corporate lobbyists, and super PACs have turned elections into pay-to-play systems. This isn't left versus right. It's the donors versus the people. These donors fund both sides to ensure nothing ever changes, and we're done watching. We're mobilizing, and this is the Money Out of Politics movement. Our mission is simple. We are going to get all corporate money, special interest money, and large billionaire donors out of our politics. It was never intended to be this way, and we do not accept it. The first thing we're going to do is organize, share, and push this message. The media won't cover it, so we will. Every video, every share, every discussion grows this movement. With the march coming, we need everyone mobilized. The next thing we want is to end financial conflicts of interest in Congress. No stock trading for all elected officials. If you serve the people, you can't trade stocks based on insider knowledge. Members of your families can't take high-paid corporate lobbyist jobs even after you leave office. We want strict financial transparency laws. Every dollar that flows into these campaigns must be accounted for. And we want severe penalties for insider trading, pay-to-play schemes, and campaign finance violations. Your tax dollars are funding systems built to profit off mass incarceration and endless wars. This has to stop. Step 3, we're going to overturn Citizens United. Super PACs allow billionaires to buy elections. Citizens United made it legal. Since 2010, dark money has poured in, buying policies, candidates, and elections, and this is the root of corruption in Washington, D.C. It must be overturned, or we will never get real reform. And last but not least, mass mobilization. On July 2nd, we are marching on Washington. We expect more than 2 million people to stand tall at our nation's capital and make these demands, because this is not a protest. It is a demand for change. If you're ready to fight back, drop your state in the comments. We are organizing state by state, and the march is coming. We need everyone mobilized. Stay strong.